thank you. So Anthony, it's 3:00, so can switch the camera so the webinar participants can see us. So, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the very first Asian Sports Sustainability webinar series. First of all, I would like to take the moment to introduce someone who will be sharing the stage with me today. And I'm honored to have Mr. Haruki Sawada, who is the Executive Director of the Japan Green Sports Alliance, as my co-host this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
No problem. And also another special guest, Dr. Ye Gongding, has been very supportive during my entire academic career. Now he served as the chairperson of the Sustainability Committee for the Taiwan Association for Sport Management. Here also I want to say thank you for the audience for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. I'm Dr. Huang. I teach at the Department of Kinesiology at the National Tsinghua University in Taiwan. And I'm so honored to be the host for this afternoon webinar. And today we brought you the incredible lineup of speakers who are experts in this field. They were going to share their knowledge, experience, and ideas to help us better understand and navigate the issue of sustainability in sports from various aspects. And I'm so confident that you will walk away with the valuable insights, fresh ideas, and actionable takeaways. And then secondly, I'm going to introduce the agenda for the webinar. Mr. Sawada and I will deliver the opening remark. Then I will briefly introduce the four speakers. The first panelist is Robin Parmelin from the Swiss. He's the founder of EcoSports. He just joined. And the second panelist is Kurt Daniel Amores, the founder of Philanthropic Sports Association. The third speaker is Kiyoshi Amemiya, and he's the translator, Yuri Amemiya. And Kiyoshi Amemiya is the founder of Nikken Corporation. The final speaker for today's webinar is Mr. Yu Xiuxie, who is the ED Sports Division Chief of the New York Taipei City Government Sports Department. And before the Haruki deliver open remark, I'm going to have some share a few quick housekeeping notes. The webinar probably will run for approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes. If you have any question, feel free to drop them in the chat box, and we will address them as many as possible during the Q&A section. And finally, don't forget to stay engaged, and we would love to have your thoughts and the feedback throughout the sessions. So that's my open remark. And now I would like to welcome my co-host, Mr. Haruki Sawada. Please.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fan, for thank you very much for this opportunity, but I'm not the main speaker today, so I am going to make it quick. And then good afternoon to Taiwan, good afternoon to Japan, good afternoon to Philippines, and good morning to Robin. Thank you very much for joining these sessions. I'm Haruki Sawada from Green Sports Alliance Japan, and the Green Sports Alliance is basically headquartered in United States. And then we are the Japanese organizations collaborating with Green Sports Alliance North America. And then basically with Dr. Huang and Dr. Ye in Taiwan Reputable University, we are sharing the goal to connect the people who are working in sports and sustainability in Asia, because Asia is full of the diversity, and a little bit like our setup or infrastructure or sports cultures or sports position in the society is a little bit different from United States and Europe. So our goal is, regardless of the scale of the initiative, which everybody is doing in Asia, we just would like to get connecting the people. This is our goal, and then we are happy to have this kind of session today. So microphone, pass back to Dr. Pham, please. Dr. Pham, I think you're muting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because I'm muting. Yes, thank you for the reminding. Again, I would like to take the opportunity to say thanks for the Haruki Sawada for your support. Without your support, we couldn't make the webinar come true because this is the very first one. So now I'm going to welcome the first speaker, and the first speaker, Robin Parmelin from the Swiss, who is the founder of EcoSports. I would say it's kind of major platform for the green colors in sports, if I'm correct. And he is going to share his insights on the job market, trends, and opportunity in sports, sustainability. So welcome, Robin.
Thanks everyone for organizing this event and for having me. I'm going to quickly start to share my screen. Wonderful being here with people from all over the globe. As you mentioned, I am based in Switzerland. Can you just tell me if you can see the slides right now?
Perfect. It couldn't be better.
So I'm going to put that in full screen mode and start my session. So as I said, thanks everyone for having me. I am Robin Parmelin. I'm from Switzerland and I'm the founder of EcoSports Pro. And I'm going to quickly introduce myself because I know we have other speakers that want to speak as well. So as I said, Swiss, 25 years old. I'm originally coming from a family of organic winemakers, so nothing to do with sports or sustainability, although winemaking deals with nature, obviously. Being the founder of EcoSports, I'll come back to that in a few seconds. I'm a lecturer in various universities. I love to speak. I love to engage with people. It's great that we have this first event in Asia because most of the webinars, as you might know, are based in Europe or in the US. So I love to see new countries and new regions coming up on this topic of sport and sustainability. I've got a background in sports marketing and I've also worked in climate action, which is why I wanted to combine my passions for these two fields. And the sports I love are football, ski, tennis, running, and basically I just love sports, generally speaking. Now let's dig deeper into this topic of sport and sustainability. So I know we don't have time to engage with the audience today, but I wanted to ask you a quick question. This is a trend related to sport and sustainability, and you might be wondering what this is. You see that it's increasing. There seems to be a turning point in 2021. So actually, this is the number of Google searchers on sports and sustainability. And obviously here I've used Google, but it works with all the other research tools. So typically that shows that there's been a growing understanding of why sustainability should be applied to sports. So there is a demand from fans, there is a demand from different stakeholders. And generally speaking, it's a topic that is of growing importance in that field. So the question now is why? Why is it the case now? And why wasn't this the case before? The first reason is because we now see the impact that sport has, and typically big events. The most visible impact it has is with waste. So that is what we see, that is what we experience when we go to stadiums, to sport events. We see the waste, and there is a lot of waste that we don't see from the suppliers, from the different stakeholders. And that is the first thing and element that makes people react when they go to sports. If you have a sensitivity around sustainability and nature, you see this waste and you understand that there is something that is wrong. We have now the chance to have calculations around these impacts. So here I have a graph that shares the CO2 emissions from different mega events that happened in the last years. So these are the Olympics, the World Cups, and you see the numbers in the different regions. And these numbers might be a little small on the screen, but these are in millions of tons of CO2. So it typically ranges between 1 and 3 million tons of carbon emissions. So that's quite a lot, as you can expect. And also it's impressive because these events, they only last for a few days or weeks. So it's not like it's taking a full year. And we have made comparisons to different countries in terms of, these emissions. So in the high estimates, an event like the Qatar World Cup in 2023 has the same amount of emissions as a country as Namibia, and it only lasts for about a few weeks. So Namibia is during a full year. You can see that it has a very big impact. And in the high estimates, the whole sport industry is estimated to have an impact as big as the whole country of Poland. So you can again see that it's huge. So there is a responsibility from sports, and there is also a lot of fans that are asking for change. And we know fans are the core and the heart of the sport industry. If you don't have fans, you don't have a well-functioning industry. Fans are the ones driving, sales, ticket sales, but also merchandise, but also just giving the sense of, what winter sports and the different weather conditions. I am Swiss, and in our mountains, we used to have a lot of snow. Nowadays, it becomes very complicated to run events because you need to take this into consideration. It's completely different. We also see the impact on air pollution. So some events have to be postponed because of fires, but also just bad air quality, and also heat waves that have, in the worst case scenario, heat strokes events happening at big sport events. So it's not only sport that impacts the climate, but also climate change that impacts sports. So we need to do something with that. There is also finally a push from governments and different regulations. Here on the screen, I've put CSRD. That's one, but there are many others that try to tackle this problem and try to give guidance and directives to companies, and sports clubs and events are companies. So these, new regulations also force organizations to change because they need to do it if they want to have a license or if they want to be able to run the business. So now the question is, what role can you play as a person, as an individual, as a job seeker, as someone who cares about nature and wants to use sport for good? There's been a growing number of jobs in that space. We've built with EcoSports a job board trying to gather all these openings together so that people can access them and can apply for them. And we've had over 1,000 jobs in the last 18 months. So that's a lot, and that is worldwide, obviously, different sports, different kind of opportunities. But there are basically a lot of ways that you can get involved. There are still not as many as I wish, but I can tell you that there is a growing demand, a growing number of opportunities in that field. And we need more people that have the passion and the drive to make a significant change in that field. And it's not easy to get trained because it's a very, sensitive topic and also very niche, applying sustainability to sport. It's not as easy as it seems. And that's why you see here the different opportunities that arise in the job market. It can go from being a consultant to an event coordinator. You can also work on the social aspect of sustainability. So typically working with nonprofits or with community engagement, working with different communities. But basically all the departments and all the functions that exist in sports teams and clubs have to change. And you don't need to be the head of sustainability to make a change in that industry. You can work in marketing, you can work in, corporate partnerships, you can be an advisor, you can be external, you can be internal. So you don't need to be the head of sustainability again. Try to find your way, try to find your background and how it aligns, and to make a difference at your own level. To help people who have interest in that field and who might not have the qualifications, we've built our own academy. And the idea is to help you go from, I had a passion to do a difference in sports, to I am actually working in that space. So we've been developing this academy with about 20 speakers, and we have hours of content that I'd love to share, but I don't have time today. But basically, this is our way to help you transition to a role in sport and sustainability. We also provide a certification if you're interested, and that can help you find a job, obviously, and show your dedication to sport and sustainability. Finally, we organize webinars such as today's webinar, so that's why I'm happy to be here, but we also organize our own webinars where we try to share some best practices. We invite guest speakers, and we try to give you examples of how we can make sport more sustainable. So if you want to join us, feel free to reach out to me or to go on the EcoSports Pro website. You can also find me on LinkedIn, as you can see on the screen. Here is my email if anyone wants to reach out to ask any question. Again, there is a space for you if you are able to and willing to make a difference. You just need to get started. So I hope that this session gave you a first idea of how you can get involved. Obviously, I didn't have time to explain everything about it, but if you want to work in that space, feel free to connect with me to organize a session, a one-to-one session with me, or drop me an email. That's it on my side. I hope the sound quality was good, and thanks for having me today. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Okay, thank you, Robin. Very intensive section, intensive presentation, because we give all presenter only like 10 or 12 minutes. So it's kind of difficult for you to condense all the information within the short period of time. But thank you for that, because the webinar is kind of, I would say, platform for network building as well as knowledge sharing. Particularly, we have a speaker from European, and we have a speaker from the Northern Asia and South Asia also. I think that's the function for the webinar, for the networking in the future. That's very important. Thank you. Thank you a lot, Robin.
Absolutely.
So the second presenter is from the Philippines, the Kurt Daniel Amores, who is the founder of a Philanthropic Sports Association. We'll talk about how his organization integrates sports, environmental accessibility, and community development in the Philippines. Welcome, Kurt. It's your try time. Kurt, can you hear me?
There could be some technical issues.
Yeah, it happens always. Kurt, can you hear me?
Oh, I think he's sharing a message.
Show that he. Yeah. You know what? Can we kind of swap? Can we have Can we give us some time to fix the technical issue here, and then we have the third presenter, Mr. Kiyoshi Amemiya, go second. Would that be okay, Mr. Amemiya?
大丈夫でしょうかね、雨宮さん、今ちょっと。
本日をする日でした。私のできるのは、地雷を取り除く機械を作ること。その決意が使命感として、それが原点です。
In 1994, I visited Cambodia for business purposes. The civil war had ended in 1991, and the country was just beginning its recovery. During my visit, I met an old woman and small children. And the women had lost a leg to a mine. She said to me, "You are Japanese, aren't you? Please help this country." I wondered, is there anything I can do? I realized that what I could do was to create a machine to remove mines. That determination turned into a sense of mission. That was my starting point.
1995年、地雷除去の機械に着手しました。これまで30年余り、地雷除去機の開発、地雷除去活動、地雷除去センターでの実験や地雷除去機の訓練を行ってきました。そしてこれからの経験を踏まえた平和活動や体験講演などを行ってきました。今、地雷除去機は世界で151台稼働しています。
Since beginning demining machine development in 1995, I have dedicated myself to further developing demining machines, conducting demining operations, and experimenting with them at the demining center. I also provide technical training in demining and engage in peace-building activities and lectures based on these experiences. There are 151 demining machines currently in operation worldwide.
憩いの森についてお話ししますと、私の経験、平和への思いをもっと多くの人たちに知ってもらいたい。地域創生や人材交流の場として、2022年8月、総合教育施設、憩いの森コミュニティパークを開設。平和ミュージアム、地雷除去技能実機展示、地雷除去技能訓練センターでは、世界各国の要請に応じた技術研修を行っています。スポーツ施設として、サッカー場、アスレチック、MBX などがあります。
To share my experiences and thoughts on peace with a wider audience and to create a space for regional revitalization and human resource exchange. In August 2022, we opened the憩いの森Community Park, a comprehensive educational facility. It includes a peace museum, an exhibition of an actual demining machine, and a demining skill training center, where we conduct technical training in response to requests from the countries around the world. As sports facilities, we have a soccer field, an athletic area, and an MBX course.
ピースフィールドとして、2023年3月、憩いの森の活動が国際的にも認められて、世界の63番目のスポーツ施設として、ピースフィールドに認定されました。
In March 2023,憩いの森's activities gained international recognition, and it was certified as the sixth third peace field in the world, called Peace Field Akeno.
国際平和デーについて、毎年9月21日に国際平和デーを開催しています。地元の高校生によるギター演奏や書道パフォーマンス、サッカー、バレエ、昨年は、プライドサッカー、ビーチサッカー、キンボールといった新しいスポーツも体験できるイベントを開催しました。さらに昨年は地元の農産物の無料配布や販売、食のブースを出展し、地域の特色を生かしたイベントとなりました。
The Peacefield Akeno's International Day of Peace, held every September, was a particularly lively event last year. Local high school students provided entertainment with guitar music and powerful calligraphy demonstrations. Last year's event broadened its sporting offerings, introducing attendees to blind soccer, beach soccer, and kimball. Kimball is a unique team sport played with a large inflatable ball. The usual soccer games were also held. The event also celebrated local agriculture, with free samples and sales of local produce, as well as food booths featuring regional specialties. The emphasis on the area's unique offerings, including the local produce, regional specialties, and new sports, made the event more enjoyable and contribute to its sustainability.
これからも憩いの森を起点に人材交流、人材育成、地域創生を図り、スポーツを通した国際交流、これからの活動をモットーとして SDGs にも貢献していきたいと思います。
Going forward, EcoSports will serve as a base for human exchange, human resource development, and regional revitalization. We aim to contribute to the SDGs through international exchange in sports and these various activities.
使命感を持って平和へのメッセージを発信し続けていきたいと思います。
I'd like to continue my peace activities with a strong sense of mission.
私の座右の銘を紹介しますと、何をやるべきか、何をしたいか分かっている人たちは強い。使命感と目標が人間の能力を最大限に高める。
I'd like to share some of my personal mottos with you. People who know what to do and what they want are powerful, and sense of purpose and clear goals maximize human potential.
人づくりの大切さ、人を作らずして物が作れないと思います。
People are the foundation of manufacturing. You can't make things without people.
対等な立場で物事を考え、感謝し、人を思いやる気持ちが人間力を高め、国際平和へとつながっていくと思います。
I believe that thinking as equals, expressing gratitude, and showing empathy can enhance human capabilities and ultimately contribute to global peace.
Peace field or not minefield. Peace speech impact. ぜひ肌で感じていただきたいと思います。
Peace field, not minefield. Peace speech impact. I want you to experience it firsthand.
日本に来られた際にはぜひ憩いの森へ、お越しください。
When you come to Japan, please be sure to visit Ikoinomori.
ご清聴ありがとうございました。Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for Mr. Amemiya's presentation, and it looks like we had opportunity to visit your peace field, right? In September, you have like a big festival. So, hey, we should have a trip to visit your place in September. It looks very special events in your place. That would be very interesting to look at Mr. Amemiya's achievement, because your presentation remind me the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. He also say sports has the power to change the world. I think your achievement is similar to what he has done. It's amazing. Thank you for joining today's webinar for us.
ご参加ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
So, no problem. It's my honor to have you to come to our webinar. And our next webinar is Kurt Daniel Amores. He is the founder of the Filanthropic Sports Association from Philippines. And he will share how his organization integrate sports, environmental issue, and community development in his country. So it's your turn, Kurt.
Thank you so much, Professor Yu Huang, for this pleasure, and to the co-host, Mr. Haruki Sawada, the Executive Director of the Green Sports Alliance Japan. To my co-presenters, Sha Wu Hao and Konnichiwa. Good afternoon. I hope I pronounced it right. So let me start my presentation. Can everyone see my slide? Can I get a verbal?
Yes.
Okay. So, Philanthropic Sports, This is the NGO that we founded together with my board. So why do we choose this word, philanthropic sports? Because and by definition, its meaning is that anything that is done for the goodness of the human race. And in my case, we just use the F to make it Filipino, because locally we use we transform the Filipino name to F to signify its locality. So the philanthropic brand of the Philippines. So we are guided by this saying by Nelson Mandela. I think all of us are, that sport has the power to change the world. With what he's done in South Africa to unite his country with the power of the sport of rugby. So a little background of myself. I was a delegate to an exchange program to the United States. When Typhoon Haiyan struck the country, one of the most powerful typhoons. So I was chosen as a delegate, and I graduated with a degree in environmental science from the University of San Carlos. I was also a former government employee, and currently I am the vice president of a local social civic org, and I serve as the director of operations for my family's business. So this is a pic of me when I was in Miami. I was together with my co-delegates to witness a match at the Miami Heat game. So in our country, as you may know, we are an archipelagic country. But one thing we have in all common, in all of the islands here, is a basketball court. And one thing about our country is most of our population is sadly in the low income or the lower middle income class. But still, most of us are diehard sport fans. As seen here, our government is structured by the provinces, broken down to cities and towns, down to barangays as the lowest classification of governments. As what Taiwan and Japan may have, you may call them villages. In our case, we call them barangays. So in the country, we have basketball as the number one sport, with the NBA here having a 99% brand awareness, and even 75% of us are basketball fans, or 1 in 3 Filipinos like basketball. So a picture here depicts that an NBA player and now a PBA player played basketball with the local kids. So seeing how that the power of basketball here in the country really attracts people. So what I've done is just to capitalize on that dynamic here. So what we've been lobbying to our policymakers here and even the local governments here is that this triple planetary crisis, climate change, pollution, and biodiversity, because somehow our government needs to find alignment of where the sport and environment connect. So this is it, because if we don't take care of our environment, where will our athletes play? Whether it be too hot or too polluted, too bad smelling or inaccessible, then our athletes can't play. So that's why we need to take care of our nature, of our surroundings. And a study here by the United Nations, it says here that our country is one of the number one globally risky for exposure to natural events. As such, we have the last 2021, if I'm not mistaken, 2020, that super typhoon again struck our country. So our country is facing the Pacific Ocean, so we are no strangers to receiving typhoons. But every now and then we receive strong typhoons. Also, our country is heavily reliant on single-use plastics, seeing as how our economic demographic tends towards having more of situated in the lower income. So that's why there's more of them have the tendency to buy single-use plastics that are covered with that make certain commodities more affordable for them. So what we've done is that we became a member to the GSA in the States. And we also became a signatory to the Sports for Nature framework made by the IUCN, the UNEP, and other international organizations. So I registered one of our ball clubs here to be a signatory to the Sports for Nature framework. So what we've done locally is that we really tried to align our operations with the policies that were published by our government. So we align with the National Development Plan, with the Sports Development Plan, and even the National Adaptation Plan, and how it calls for the multi-approach, whole-of-nation approach into solving the climate change. So right now, we are composed of two organizations. Right now is our basketball club, and this Philippine Accessible Disability Service, in which they primarily promote dragon boats to the persons with disabilities. So what I've also done is I met with the resident coordinator with the United Nations Development Program, and he explained to me that among the Sustainable Development Goals number 15, we are also regressing, or we are deteriorating. We're not hitting the targets on time. So among the indicators there was the awareness or the capacitating of the general public. So what I'm trying to do here is to meet that problem by engaging our athletes to become environmental sports ambassadors. So our country, has led by the President Marcos, has classified sports as an inclusive and unifying force, and even our environmental agency, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, has called for the whole society approach to combat the plastic pollution. So that's why I've met with our legislators here in the country to lobby what we're doing and to hopefully get their support and forming policies and even endorsements to the national government agencies. I've met with the Philippine Sports Commission to pitch to them what we've done. And we have also proposed to them a certain program that we can pilot here in our city. And I've also met with the government agency in charge of monitoring or supervising the local government units, the BILG, because they are anchoring their program on the program of the administration, the Kalinisan, which mandates weekly cleanup drives for all of the barangays, or weekly cleanup drives for all the villages led by their village chief. So what we've also done is to gain this memorandum of understanding signed by the local environmental department here, which we signed. It took me around 4 to 5 months to really follow up this, because there's lots of bureaucracy in which I really had to go to Manila and follow up on the status of our partnership. And eventually it was signed last October. Last year, we also managed to have the grant approved by the FIBA Foundation to implement the Basketball for Good, which was endorsed by the recognized entity by FIBA here in the country, which is SBP, Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. We got their endorsement, and in the country, we were the only organization that was granted, and which we are truly grateful. So what we've done is to coordinate with the city government here in one of the city governments here in the Philippines, named Mandawi City. We've met with their officials, their employees, and other stakeholders to implement that Basketball for Good grant by the FIBA Foundation. So together with them, we launched this free training to capacitate the youth with leadership, to capacitate them with also environmental laws of our country, and to make them aware of the programs of the national government and how they could engage with them, and also the programs of the city government. So we had this 2-day workshop with them in which they were trained on leadership by this Ramon Aboides Foundation, and also with the other government agencies. And just this month, we presented our findings to the City Council, in which they commended our project for it was really novel. It was hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. And we also invited the academe to study our program and how effective it was. And thankfully, it found that there was a growth in pro-environmental behaviors, their willingness to work with the government, their willingness to work with their peers and the community to find alignment. Every time they conduct sport programs, they also need to incorporate environmental projects and activities. So this is more like the concept of what we're doing. We capacitate our athletes from the trainings of existing organizations, and we invite them to engage with their communities through that Kalinisan program of the government, and to also practice a sustainable lifestyle as athletes. So what we're going to do moving forward is to pilot one of the barangays, one of the villages here, and to really see what we could do at their unit every time they run sport activities. Every time they conduct leagues, we will try to incorporate the sports by nature framework and invite their athletes to really be proactive when it comes to environmental activities. And just this morning, we signed a memorandum of agreement with the village chief here to implement and formalize our partnership with them just this morning. And
amazing, this morning. Okay, cool.
Yes, it was just updated. And last year we managed to sign this memorandum of agreement also with the city government to have this relationship with them, to have a touch relationship with them for us to really get that inputs from them every now and then. And I also met with the National Youth Chairman here in the country, and he was willing to also support our program because it really maximizes a lot of things and aligns policies and programs. And I'm honored to present here, thanks to the Professor Yu Wang. Sir Kevin, very thankful. So I'm also invited to help another province here in the country, in which we're going to capacitate their players. And as you see here on the right side, there are multiple players here that are going to participate in a league. So imagine the impact that we're going to make once we capacitate them and as they return to their respective communities. And that is it for my presentation.
Okay, thank you for the current information. Let me briefly introduce your organization. If I'm correct, you started your organization like a year of 2023, right?
Actually, it was registered with our Securities and Exchange Commission just last year.
So I mean, it's very young. I mean, very dynamic organization. A lot of externally communication engagement with a different organization or the entity. It's amazing. So thank you for being here with us this afternoon. Okay, our final speaker, Ms. Xie, he were talking about how the new Taipei City Wanjinshi Marathon. I will say the marathon is the first labor running race certified by the World Athletics. Mr. Xie is talking about how the marathon aims to achieve net zero emissions. Welcome, Ms. Xie.
Okay, thank you. So,
Sorry, please wait a minute. Let me show our slide.
Yeah. Because our webinar is kind of very inclusion. We have 4 speakers from the 4 different countries, from 3 different time zones, because it reflects our diversified continental in Asia. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay, so now can you see the slide?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the invitation, giving me the opportunity to share the sustainability of the new Taipei City Wanjing Marathon. Just as the host said, this event is Taiwan's first event to receive the World Athletic Gold Label certification. And you can see the slide. The road race route of the Wanjing Marathon passes through the most beautiful coastline of New Taipei City, with mountains on one side and the sea on the other. On the way, runners not only can stop and enjoy the stunning view, but also receive the warm support from local cheerleading teams. So, in order to preserve and promote all natural landscapes, the Wanjing Marathon incorporated sustainability into its DNA starting in 2023. And the new Taipei City government has set a goal of achieving net zero carbon emission by 2050. Therefore, the Wanjing Marathon must gradually move to this goal, so we reduce carbon emission by 10% each year starting in 2024. Well, everyone is familiar with the 6 R's, but I want to share the 5 R's of our event. First, reduce. We purchase event supplies in bulk and repackage them for distribution. And the next, reuse. Items such as, you can see in the slide, the Queen's Head shaped turning point and the traffic control equipment are reused yearly. And we refuse extensive packaging. For instance, runner's vest. Here are some of the sustainability actions of Wanjing Marathon. You can see the paper list on the right side up. This reduces paper waste while promoting a more convenient and faster process. And we provide an option of no waste. Although our vest always looks so good and fashionable, and this option helps to reduce waste from the source. And online certificates. This is also a paperless initiative. And the digital finished certificates are permanent and durable, unlike paper versions. And now with the event also providing electric vehicles. We have these electric vehicles for the timing car and the regular motorcycles, providing a zero emissions environment for all runners. And the shuttle bus service, we have planned a paid shuttle service from Taipei to the event location. And this not only to reduce the carbon emission caused by individual driving, but also to ease traffic congestion. And the local supplies, you can see on the slide the local food. This is the Shimen local specialty food. We take it for the supplies. And then at the same time, we can reduce carbon emissions from food transportation. And now, as for the event materials, you can see we use fabric made from coffee grounds and recycled PET bottles to produce race vests. So you can see it's very good and fashionable. And the leftover material is repurposed to create workwear. And our runner's bag is made by recycled plastic pellets. And at the event location, recycling bins are provided to encourage participants to join in the effort of recycling old clothes for repurposing. Now you can see in the slide the unique Queen's Head trophy of the Wanjing Marathon. In 2024, the trophy was made from sand and PP recycled materials. The trophy contains 80% recycled marine debris, reducing the use of 144 kilometers of resin, which is equivalent to the carbon emissions saved from motorcycle around Taiwan 9 times. And in addition to the materials for the runners, Wanjing Marathon has also put significant effort into its merchandise. Notably, the canvas used at the event for recycling has been repurposed from the previous event. It has been redesigned and made into limited edition items such as picnic mats, small bags, and coin purses, transforming this canvas into unique and sustainable merchandise. And next, I will introduce the most special, the runner's clothing protection bag. In New Taipei City, people are required to purchase specific bags for trash disposal to increase resource recycling rates and reduce the amount of waste disposal. Therefore, we are collaborating with the New Taipei City Environmental Protection Department to make clothing protection bag as garbage bag. After runners use the bag to store their belongings, they can take it home and use it to dispose of trash, successfully extend the value of material usage. In addition, you can see the left side of the slide. The starting arch at the event venue is equipped with LED screen, reducing the use of canvas and via LED screen to enhance interaction with all the participants. The inquiry lab stop at the event service desk are powered by solar energy. And on the right side of the slide is the Run for Green plan, in operation with Fubon Financial Holdings. For every 14 kilometers of runner accumulated, a tree will be planted on behalf of all the runners. So beyond the event itself, we actively cooperate with local schools and organizations to integrate green and sustainable concepts into the school class. This allows students to experience sustainability both in the classroom and outdoors through various activities, such as beach cleanup, biological environmental monitoring, encouraging everyone to become sustainability advocates. Wanjin Marathon has also initiated a series of plogging. It's so special. We are familiar with beach cleanups. The plogging initiative gathers groups to run and pick up trash along designated areas. They may be in front of your house or just pass by you. In 2023, a total of 6 events were held, with over 500 participants running a total of 1,200 kilometers, cleaning up about 1,100 tons of waste. We have seen many families join in plogging, extend the impact of the event to family education, allowing children to understand the importance of environmental protection. And to manage these sustainability efforts, in 2023, the Wanjin Marathon obtained the ISO 20121 Event Sustainability Management System and completed the ISO 14067 carbon footprint of products, establishing a baseline for the event's carbon emissions. Additionally, it was first awarded the silver label by the Council of Responsible Sport in Taiwan, just like the 6 major marathons in the world, such as the London and the Chicago Marathon. And there is a proverb we always can hear that if you want to run fast, go alone. If you want to run far, go together. This is the perfect metaphor for promoting environmental sustainability. So we must express our gratitude to the Green Running Race Alliance, which brings together the industry, government, and academia. By leveraging their respective resources and strengths, we work together to promote sustainable net zero initiative, hoping to raise the awareness and encourage more people to get involved. And finally, I believe sustainability and achieving net zero emission will never stop. The Wanjin Marathon will continue to strive toward its goal of of reducing carbon emissions by 10% every year. With technology advancing rapidly, we hope in the future more resources will become available to bring us closer to net zero. And I think the most important is no one is an outsider when it comes to environmental sustainability. So this is my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, the mission presentation and a lot of efforts within the, I would say, 10 minutes presentation. You know, they have I would say, took a lot of 5 hours practice and receive, I would say, some important green certification, which make the 万金石马拉松the one of the major marathon in Taiwan. Also, I would say it's world-class running race. It's amazing. So again, thank you for the presentation from 4 speakers. Now we are going to open up to our Q&A section. So from the chat room, we can see some questions from our webinar participants. So let me find out the question for the different presenters. We have the one question to Robin. The question comes from the Chris Ma, who is the professor of National Cheng Kung University in Taiwan. He's kind of asking if your EcoSports Academy include the training on technical aspects such as the carbon footprint, the verification, and the sustainability report writing, and the knowledge of carbon tax. So that's the first one for the Robin. And also we have the question for the Mr. Amemiya. And anyway, let Robin the answer first, and the next one will be Mr. Amemiya. Okay, Robin, it's your turn.
Yes, sure. We have about 20 hours of content shared in 8 different modules. We cover different aspects of sustainability in sports. We try to avoid going into technical aspects for 2 reasons. One reason is because we already have 20 hours. So if we want to do carbon accounting and all that technical stuff, it would take about 100 hours to complete the course, and that's not what we wanted. And the second reason is because, and probably the most important reason, is because I believe that sports and sustainability doesn't have to be technical. Obviously, you need people that will help you if you need to do some carbon footprints, if you need to make a report, like you'll need some knowledge, but you can always get help. When you only have one person dedicated to sustainability in a club or in an event, you usually have to do a bit of everything. So you don't need to be a technical expert. You need to be able to coordinate and to understand all the different angles and aspects of sustainability. So that's the angle that we've decided to take. And obviously, you might need some technical knowledge at some point, and it depends on your role and who you are, obviously. In the course, we don't go into too much detail for that reason.
Okay, thank you. So that's very important information first. At least for the sustainable managers need more have like general understanding of the principle instead of technical matters. So thank you for your information for this question. For the question for the Mr. Amemiya is, has the creation and the promotion of the peace field achieve your goals, and how are you going to evaluate the effects and how the people respond your project? So thank you for the Mr. Amemiya. This is for you.
ちょっとじゃあそのパスですね。
目標成果の達成なんですけど、憩いの森のコミュニティパークで私の経験や平和の思いを多くの人たちと共有することが私の主な目的で、順調に目的達成へ向かっています。また、
私言いますね。My main goal at the Ikoinomori Community Park is share my experiences and thoughts and peace with as many people as possible. I believe I'm steadily progressing toward achieving this goal.
Okay. So the second question for the Mr. Amemiya is, what's the next plan? Are you going to build the second one?
Second one. 次は、そうですね。じゃあここ言いましょ
う。まあ、サッカー場について、子供たち、大人も含めてですね、県内外、年間1万人くらいの方々が利用しています。単独での例はもちろんのこと、サッカーの合宿、平和体験、講習会を組み合わせた利用もされて行われております。スポーツと平和学習を併合した新たな形を提供できると感じています。また、20年で635回、33万人を超える自分の思いを学生さんから社会人の人たちに自分の思いを伝えております。またメディアにも取り上げられています。
Let me tell you some details and at the Ikoinomori. The soccer team has been used by around 10,000 people per year.
Okay, 10,000 people. Okay.
From children to adults, both from within and out. And one more thing, although we don't conduct any specific promotion, we have held peace experience lectures all over Japan over the past 20 years. We have welcomed more than 330,000 people in 635 sessions. With this background, my activities have also been covered by the media.
Oh, great.
So, and also your last question.
So what will be next? Yeah, what will be next? Are you going to build a second field?
それはおそらくゆりえさん多分会長が考えてらっしゃる海外の今ちょっと紛争を起こしているところで、作ろうと思ってらっしゃるんですかっていうことだと思います。
そう。紛争。すみません。澤田さん、もう一度いいですか？
おそらく今、ファン教授のおっしゃってらっしゃることは、次、会長はどこでこれを作ろうと思ってらっしゃいますか？普段、会長がよくおっしゃってらっしゃるのは、今、次の、今ちょっと、ね、国と国の間でちょっと今、紛争が起きているところで、停戦になればと思ってらっしゃるんだと思うんですけど、その辺をおっしゃられたらいいんじゃないでしょうか。
はい。ウクライナの問題なんですけど、なかなか今もアメリカとヨーロッパ、またロシア、そしてウクライナ、そこがなかなか共有できていないのかなと言いながらも、一日、ロシア兵は1000人亡くなったり、またウクライナ兵もたくさん亡くなっている状況でもあり、我々がどのようにしたらいいかってことが非常に今、悩ましいような感じがしてます。
澤田さん、それは、次っていうのは、憩いの森。
の次のこと、皇教授は次どこでこういうことをやろうと思ってますかという構想をご質問されていらっしゃるので、今、雨宮会長がおっしゃられたことを翻訳されればいいんじゃないかなと私は思います。
そうですね。今は、
英語でいいですよ。はい。
はい。澤田さん、言ってくれる
Okay, looks like maybe I think Dr. Fran's question is a little bit like confusing them, but okay. The chairman, what Chairman Amemiya wanted to say is basically now it's a kind of sensitive moment of time, because he also doesn't want to talk so much about other countries because it's going to be the interventions. But there's something ongoing between like Russia and Ukraine, and then their machines already being delivered to Ukraine. So and then every day on both sides, people are having injured and also having some kind of like some people are going dead. So it's a really sensitive issues. But if you are asking Chairman Amemiya for the second places, I mean, of course, he is having something in mind in Ukraine.
Okay, good. Thank you. So one more question. One question for the Kurt. So, your organization is very young, but very dynamic and achieved a lot of, has made a lot of achievement. So how about for the coming year? You have any plan in your mind so far? You want to share with us?
Yeah, so basically, Kevin, I have three areas. First is to further develop our program.
Okay.
Receive more inputs from various stakeholders, such as this group, and to sustain and improve our relationships with our partners. And lastly is for stable funding.
Okay, stable funding. Yeah, no money, no talk, right? Money is always important. Well, we are on the same page. Yeah, we always need some financial resources. Yeah, right. Yeah, we are on the same page. Okay. We had a miss by have one question for the New Taipei City government. What are the key sustainability goals for the Taiwan sports sectors? Is any plan that to promote the regional cooperation in Asian continental to maximize the impact? So we need answer. Can we have the Miss Xue to answer this one? Thank you.
这是刚刚哪一题？这是第二题，我们用中文回答那题。运动面有什么有趣的目标？然后促进区域合作。
Okay, thank you, Dr. Huang. So as this question, I think in the future, the government must to involve is to how to get all the people, especially through the education, to let the community or the school to know the importance of the sustainability, and to create more initiative to make these people get together, not only to aware the importance, but also to enact. And all these people can see and can realize this importance for the environment. So I can see through the sport is the more easy, just because we can say that the sport is equivalent to the life. So when in your life you must to take exercise. So we can make this awareness or the actions into the exercise. For instance, just for the red rules, we can use the materials or to do all the recycled actions more actively or more inactive. So I think this is the must to do is our government to how to let these ideas to let all the people know. I think this is.
Yeah, let me kind of reiterate during the mission presentation, we have alliance. The reason we want to have alliance, we want to make the events more sustainable and kind of educate the runners, become the green runners and become the green citizens. So that's how we work together. Everybody has engaged and take some action. So that's very important. Thank you for the share. Even though we still have some questions from the webinar participants, but we are kind of out of time. As the flight attendants, we had to land on time, right? So first, I still want to say thank you for the 4 speakers and webinar participants. And thank you for my co-host, Mr. Sawada and Dr. Ye, and my team also. So before we leave, can we turn the camera on so we can take a group photo because of this kind of milestone achievement? Can we turn the camera on so we can take group photo? Aislinn, would that be okay? Would that be doable? Xinya, 你要不要开始说话一下？
Yes. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a photo together.
1, 2, 3. Are we done?
First one, 1, 2, 3. One more,
Finish?
please.
Oh, one more time, okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, good.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
let me, lastly, but not leastly, Dr. Ye, you want to say hello to everybody? He's my big brother who support me during my entire professional career. Hey, Dr. Ye, Gongding Ye, you want to say hello to everybody? Also, as I say, this is the webinar series. We try to organize by monthly. So this is the first one. The second one will be held sometime in April. So stay tuned. Okay, thank you for everybody who spent your time with our webinar, and see you in April. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
ちょっとありがとうございました。Thank you. So, okay, I am
No,
going
no
to leave.
problem.
It's good. So I think it's like a well done, and then it was like a fast experience and stuff.